What's up guys, today on Rebels Off-Road we will be unboxing, installing, and giving a review on this HMF Defender series bumper for our KRX. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this one. So if this is your first time watching Rebels Off-Road, welcome to the channel. But if this is your second or third time watching Rebels Off-Road and you're still not subscribed, what are you doing, man?
Come on, man.
Go hit that subscribe button. All right, now we're going to get right into the video. All right, so let's open this up. All right, so we got some tissue paper here. It's kind of flattened out, no big deal. Throw all that out of the way. There's quite a bit of it. This is good packaging right here because this is all very nice paper. It's filling all the voids in, which is great. Pulling the bumper out. And got a little bracket here, looks like. Put this box out of the way. So we got this. There's like a little bracket in here. Can open it up. See? All right. Little bracket there. Set that down. Oops, caught it. A little package of hardware. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay, there's the bumper. We're gonna put the padding underneath it so we don't scratch up the paint. We're gonna take a closer look. Pretty freaking sweet. Now this is what we paid our money for. Got a little sweet sticker here. Q Equipment, powered by HMF. Pretty freaking sweet little decal here. Set that aside. These are the instructions, of course. We have a little packing list with nice little pictures. That's very helpful. Some pictures of the install, nice. And the instructions. Of course, if you're watching this video, you don't really need these instructions. We're gonna show you how to install it, but it does come with instructions if you'd rather follow that. There's a little bracket and a bag full of hardware. All right, so we're gonna jump right into the install now. First, we're gonna install the front bumper mid plate. That's what this is here. And we're gonna install it using our M10 by 125 by 25 Allen head bolts with 2 washers and a nylock nut. Just slide these into place first. Take your washer and fish it back there. And finger tighten your nylock. Same thing with the other side. Now keep in mind, it's very important that you only hand tighten things for now. We're gonna tighten things up later. First, we gotta get all the components lined up. Next, if you come behind the front plastic, you'll find this little bracket here with threaded holes. We're gonna be installing this bracket onto there using our M8 by 125 by 20 button head cap screws with a washer. Now we're gonna grab the other bracket and do the other side. So now we're gonna lift our bumper up into place and we're gonna secure it using our M8 by 125 by 25 cap head screws. We're gonna go right here. We're gonna use a washer on both sides and then there's a nylock that goes on the inside. And the same thing on this side as well. Next, we're gonna secure the bottom of the bumper. To do that, we're gonna be using our M10 by 1.5 by 100 flange head bolts, an aluminum spacer, this smaller flat washer, and this larger flat washer. We're gonna take our flange bolt, we're gonna put it through here. We're gonna take our aluminum spacer, put it in between the bumper and the bike. Then we're gonna take our smaller washer, we're gonna put that between the spacer and the bike, lift it into place, line it up. Same thing for this side. On the back side here, I think you can see it, we're gonna use our larger washer and a nylock nut. Same thing over here. Last, we're gonna take our M8 by 125 by 20 cap head screw with the washer, and we're gonna line up this bracket here with the end of the tube and tighten it. Now we just gotta do the other side. All right, so now it's time to tighten all these bolts down. They go in a certain order, and the first two you wanna do are these two here. This flange side's a 15 millimeter, and the back side is a 17 millimeter. So we got a 17 millimeter box wrench and a 15 millimeter socket on my impact drive. So next we're gonna tighten up these two here. I needed a 5/16 T-handle Allen key and also our 17 millimeter box wrench to go on the back nut. Next we're gonna tighten up the two side bolts here. This takes a 5 T-handle Allen key as well as a 1/2 inch box wrench. And do the other side. Last, we're gonna do these two bolts here. They're also a 5 Allen key, but we couldn't get our T-handle in here, so we had to use a smaller one. We tightened up the bracket on the other side, and that completed the install. On to the review. Okay, so this bumper cost about $370. I provide a link down in the description to where we bought it, so if you want to check it out, you can. We're gonna go into some of the reasons as to why I chose this bumper, as well as some of the pros and cons of this bumper. So keep in mind, it took almost 8 weeks to get here. Due to COVID, shippings were delayed, but I've also been informed that these bumpers are made to order, so it took a while for them to build it. One of the reasons why we went with this bumper versus just mounting the winch down in the factory location is that we go through a lot of water, and we want to get the winch up as high as possible. Even though we have the Warren VRX, which is a waterproof winch, we really want to keep that winch out of the water as much as possible. So the factory location of the winch is right here. This bumper mounts it all the way up there. You may not think this is much, but it really may be in the difference between having your winch fully submerged and just getting splashed. So there is one major downside to this bumper that I want to talk about. Now I have the stock tires, but as you can see, the approach angle has been lessened here. That bumper may just hit first. So it's not too bad. They did a good job of trying to keep it hugged up to the body of the bike. This is inherent with this style of bumper, that you're gonna have the approach angle lessened. Of course, we'll be able to regain this approach angle through offset A-arms and bigger tires, which we'll probably end up doing later. So something that we didn't show is that when we were installing this bracket here, this tab actually was bent in a little too much, so it didn't want to slide down on the mid plate, but we are able to easily bend it out just a little bit, and we're able to slide it down as intended. So I really do like the protection that this bumper offers. It's not the heaviest duty of steel. This bike is already really heavy, and this offers what I feel like is the perfect amount of protection to weight ratio. We don't really want to weigh down the front end too much, so this is pretty good. I also really like this ties into the bike in 6 different places. This will keep the bumper really nice and rigid. You have this bar that goes down into the bracket back there. You have this mid plate that connects in there, and then you have down here these big bolts that connect into there. The welds are actually pretty nice on this. I've definitely seen a lot worse. Another thing I like about it is that it has a dual hole pattern so that you can mount many different types of winches on here. We've got a Warren winch that we're going to be installing on here, and it will fit perfectly, but you also can install other types of winches. Another thing that HMF really got right is that it came with this decal. Companies that do this know that this little bit of extra detail is really appreciated. So overall, I am happy with my purchase. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more great content. These videos take a lot of work to film and edit, so you subscribing and liking the video goes a long way with us making more content like this. For those of you who are already subscribed, thank you, and see you next time.